These are my two boys, and my wife is operating the camera. Hi, I'm Troy Dunlap, and welcome to the great sunny state of Texas. The best part of being a dad is getting to spend the quality time with your kids, and there's no other pastime that your kids enjoy more than spending the day fishing. But if it's something your kids want to do and you aren't very familiar with the sport, there are some simple steps to follow to ensure your experience will be enjoyable and trouble-free. It's important to keep in mind that when you're dealing with children, they're not professionals. These steps are intended to help the parent who is less experienced with the sport, but they're wanting to learn. I encourage parents to get outdoors with your kids and put down the remote for some quality family time. The first and most important tool in fishing is the rod and reel. When you're working with kids, it's best just to keep it simple. Stay away from reels like open face and bait cast, and stick with traditional spin cast for hassle-free experience. The last thing you want to do is frustrate your kids when you're trying to teach them how to fish. You can even purchase a fishing rod and reel that's specifically designed with your kids in mind, like this one here. The next thing you want to consider is the tackle selection. Again, keeping it simple is the best way to reduce frustrations and make for a more enjoyable experience. The first and most important part of the tackle is the hook. Consider the type of fish you're intended to catch and use a hook that is size appropriate. Stay away from treble hooks. They can be dangerous for little ones who are just learning to fish. Don't buy into thinking that the larger the hook, the bigger the fish you're going to catch. Bobber selection can be intimidating when you go into fish and tackle shops due to the wide variety of styles. Again, consider the type of fish that you're going for. If you're fishing for small fish such as perch, you don't want to get too large of a bobber that the fish won't be able to pull under, and kids will lose lots of bait and spend more time baiting and baiting the line rather than fishing. Use too small of a bobber, and you also could be frustrating for kids. They're thinking that they have a bite when the fish is just toying with the bait. Use a bobber that is easy to install and can also be easily moved up or down, adjusted to the depth of the bait in the water. When trying to decide on the bait, it is important to know what you're fishing for. Don't use lures or jigs. Like this lure here. Kids aren't experts, and the dangers of having multiple kids trying to cast is endless. I like to use worms and minnows. Usually I stick with worms because, number one, you don't have to worry about the kids losing the bait while it's flopping around. And number two, you don't have to be so precise on how the bait goes on the hook. You just hook it on so that the bait stays on the hook. The next step in working with kids to fish is the line placement. Typically, small fish like perch stay right where the sun and a piece of shade like to meet. Fishing off a deck or a pier, such as this one here, is the easiest way to fish with your kids because you typically will have an area where there is plenty of sun and plenty of shade. And before I start fishing, I like to bait a line and drop it in the water without a bobber. I drop the line all the way to the bottom. You'll know when you reach the bottom when the line is no longer tight. Reel the line in about 12 inches and then wait. If you don't have a bite, reel the line in another 12 inches and repeat this process until you find the proper depth of the fish. Then you can place a bobber on the line, making the bait sit where you're located to fish. Spend time with your kids is important, and fishing with your kids is a great way to build memories that will last a lifetime. Just use these easy steps and you can start building memories with your family. Did I get a bite?